6 on the night. More importantly, the Clippers scratched for the first time in this series and have cut into the Mavericks lead. It's now 2-1 Dallas after a road win by L.A. In fact, the road teams are now 3-0 in this series. It's Playoff Central Live presented by State Farm. Matt Weiner, Carlos Boozer, Ryan Hollins right there. A lot of questions about this Clipper team given their recent history, about their competitive will, about what's going on between the ears, as Kawhi Leonard put it earlier this week. How important is it moving forward, not just for this series, but to their collective psyche and to the psyche of Clippers fans that they could get a win on the road tonight?
Yeah, I thought it was almost a must-win.
Yeah.
We use that term loosely, but I just felt like Dallas had dominated them in L.A. in those first two games. So coming back here, showing some grit, getting a good win. Even with Luka having a monster night, they still got the victory. I thought it was necessary just to give them, just for themselves to have that confidence moving forward in the series.
Yeah, but they couldn't go down 0-3. There's no way. And you look at this team, they're contenders. You would put them pound for pound.
They should be, right?
Pound for pound against the Lakers, pound for pound against the Nets, Philly, Milwaukee, whoever you want to put in that conversation. So with Kawhi Leonard as decorated as he has been and spectacular, Rondo joining, playoff Rondo, Paul George joining the party, they had to get this win. And to think that you just be losing to Luka Doncic, just essentially one-on-one, who's been utterly amazing and a rising young star in this league, I just don't think it's his time. It should be, in quotations, the Clippers' time. So, huge, impactful win.
Well, I mean, again, based on the roster, it was hard to understand what happened the first two games of this series. Dallas is a really, really good offensive team, and were again tonight. They hit 20 of 39 from three-point range. But the Clippers have so much firepower on both ends of the floor, and tonight shot nearly 58%. What keeps them from performing this way on other nights?
Chemistry is still a factor with the Clippers, however you want to put it. They haven't practiced much. I know COVID has been tough on each and every, one of these NBA rosters and teams as far as getting a lot of work in. But, it's just been tough for the Clippers. And Kawhi Leonard, he's not a natural facilitator. He's a scorer. He gets buckets. And you thought that Rondo would just be the missing piece. It hasn't worked so lightly with that. So, these guys, their calling card should have been defense. And it had been defense. Luka had been doing whatever he wanted on the offensive end. They can get stagnant at times, but I thought there was a consistent effort to share the basketball tonight. And defensively, they got after Luka. He had 44, but he had to work through 4 quarters to get it, and I thought he just ran out of gas.
Yeah, great point. I mean, I thought the Clippers did a good enough job defensively to get this win tonight. Shot the ball very well, shared the ball very well, did a good job. And I still feel like Dallas did a good job as well. They played very well down the stretch, but I feel like Luka did get tired.
Yeah.
He's been carrying this team. Need a little bit more help from Porzingis, some other guys, especially moving forward. Listen, Kawhi Leonard is a champion.
Yeah.
A couple times over. So if he sees a little clink in the armor, a little chink in the armor, he may attack this. If they tie this series up 2-2 going back to L.A., watch out.
Dallas led this game by 19, and, good for the Clippers showing some resilience, which has been lacking at times. Remember last year against Denver, a lot of folks accused this team of quitting, essentially. This would have been an opportunity to do just that. The light bulb went off, something happened, and they decided to compete in this game and in this series and turn things around. And maybe this is the sort of moment that can launch them to something greater.
Yeah, I think it was great. I mean, this game was really in the balance most of the game, and they kind of pulled away a little bit towards the end of the game, which they needed that confidence to, sometimes when you're in the middle of a series, you got to realize that, okay, can we beat this team? Now they know they can beat this team, even with the history of last year, getting to the conference finals and what have you. They got to have a way in this playoffs and against Dallas to find a way to win, and they did that tonight as a group of guys. Can they carry that in the game 4, and what will Dallas do to offset that?
I think that, nothing like a little piece of humble pie. And sometimes you got to come out and you got to give yourself to the game of basketball. You got to dive on the floor. You got to remember the plays. You got to come together. You can't forget a box out. You can't forget a rebound. I can't tell you how important the little things are. And I think, honestly, being honest, we got to give a different level of respect to Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic is a bona fide star in the league. He's a top 5 player. His name should be mentioned, even though there aren't championships yet. But with the LeBrons, with the Currys, with the KDs, he's shown us this type of performance. And I thought that respect was there. Good job of Ty Lue of throwing multiple defenders on it. We saw Rondo late in the game. Terrence Mann got to put some energy. Kawhi Leonard had him in spurts. And that's just what it may have to be right now to guard him. But I think he garners that type of respect with his ability to score one-on-one. And then when you play coverage, he picks you apart and hits guys for wide open shots.
Yeah, I mean, his stat line tonight, 44, 9, and 9, did a great job of getting everybody involved. And he shot over 50% again. He's a handful. And to your point, I thought Ty Lue did a good job of throwing buys out on him as well. But Luka is unguardable right now.
It is amazing the numbers he's putting up, not only in this series, but over his relatively young postseason career. And you sort of take him for granted at this point. He's still really young, but he's putting up these crazy numbers. He was 15 of 28 from the field, 7 of 13 from three-point range tonight. He had 9 assists and 9 boards. 5 turnovers is acceptable for the amount of time he has the ball in his hands. You're okay with 9 turnovers there and 44 points. We'll hear from him in a little while. First of all, let's backtrack. Jason Tatum has made his way to the podium in Boston after his 50-point night in the Celtics win over the Nets. Let's hear from him. Serving after an interesting night, to say the least, and Kevin Durant.
What's going on? Can either of you guys describe just the atmosphere in the arena today and whether that caught either of you off guard?
Yeah, no, we're expecting a bigger crowd on Sunday, so I'm happy it was a great start to seeing what this environment is going to be like, and just looking forward to the challenge.
Greg Logan with Newsday.
Kyrie, on a personal level, what was the experience like for you? One time they were chanting some vulgar stuff and you waved it on. Do you feel like you kind of had to get this one past you?
I mean, it's basketball. I've been in a few environments in my life, so, like I said, as long as it's just strictly the nature of basketball out there, there's nothing extra, I'm cool with it. Gonna get some preparation with the team tomorrow, and then get prepared for Sunday. But, it's just want to keep it straight basketball.
Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
For either one of you guys, where do you think your biggest issues were on defense tonight?
I feel like they made shots tonight. Especially Tatum, he had some tough ones over us tonight. I don't think he got anything easy. But for a scorer like that, once you start to see the ball going to the rim, things become, just push their team to another level. So I felt like the fadeaways that he was making, the step back threes, those are his shots, but we still got to contest on them. So I think we got to be more physical with our switches and rebounding and getting out in transition. So, watch some film and see how we can get better.
Blake Andrews, ESPN.
Maybe starting with Kevin and then Kyrie, if you have anything to add. I'm wondering, Steve said that he could feel the confidence growing in Boston by giving the team an opening to win tonight. I'm wondering if you could feel that over the course of the game, and if so, how, and then just what you made of what Jason Tatum was able to do.
I mean, how many threes they hit?
Quite a few.
Yeah, they tied us in threes. They hit 16 threes in this building. I mean, you got Romeo Langford hit a couple for him. Smarty hit 5. Fournier hit 4 of them. So they got it going from the three-point line, which is going to keep any team in the game. And, we got to do a better job of contesting. They shoot 50% from the field. We can't allow that. At 41 from the 3, we can't allow that. And get out rebounded. We just got to be better.
Brian Lewis with the New York Post.
To either or both of you, I mean, after you guys were down 10 and you climbed back to tie it on Katie's free throws, at that point, they went on a run and kind of put it away. I'm curious, what went wrong defensively in that run where you let them hit like 7 of 8, 8 of 9, whatever it was? From when it was 75 all.
Yeah, no, they were just comfortable. When you get down the stretch, they feel like they could pick us apart, with their 1-4, 1-3 pick and roll, or, kind of what we call pick-on basketball, just bringing screens up and then JT getting to the free throw line or getting aggressive plays or, Kemba getting in the teeth of the defense or, they run an ATO for Evan Fournier, I get a corner three. It's just big momentum plays, Tristan hitting the offensive glass and keeping plays alive. Just the little details of the game where we felt like we could have been there in terms of putting a body on guys. We just got to be ready for that for Game 3, or it's Game 4, excuse me.
With La Gazzetta dello Sport.
Guys, this is for either one of you. What do you think was your biggest problem this game, and how do you think you can solve it?
I think we have to definitely have more attention to detail on the small things on the defensive side of the ball. Like not opening up on pick and rolls or switching, the contact and physicality. It's small things, and rebounding and boxing out. Guys flying in from the perimeter to rebound, and then on the offensive side, just keep moving that basketball. We got special players here that can make tough shots, but we want to continue to move the ball. So we got to watch film. We got to just play more of a, we started off the game well, but for the whole game, we got to consistently be there for each other defensively. And when we do that, we're in good shape. But